As women, we juggle a lot in our lives. In addition to being daughters, mothers, sisters, or friends, it's important that we prioritize our health. Now today, we are joined by Sheena Fannin as she shares her health journey with the American Heart Association, Texas Health, you and me, Kellie Rasberry, as part of a celebration and recognition of women who have made significant lifestyle changes to live healthier, more inspired, and fuller lives. Sheena, thank you so much for being here today. You are the picture of health. You're the right weight, you look like you work out, your skin is glowing, your eyes are clear, but there's a little bit more to your story.
Yes, it definitely has been a crazy few months, very unpredictable. Back in September, I started to feel very foggy in the brain. I started to feel out of breath, just doing normal tasks, reading my son a story at night. I was having a hard time catching my breath. I ignored it for a little bit, for probably about a week or two, and then thought, this isn't right, this isn't normal. Then fast forward to October, I started to feel extremely lightheaded, felt like my heart was racing. I hold on to the kitchen counter because I start to feel a little lightheaded. I start kneeling down because I just don't feel right. And the next thing I knew it, I woke up and I had fallen on the kitchen floor. So I took a couple minutes to just kind of gather myself. I called my husband who was out of town, called a couple girlfriends, a couple neighbors who urged me to go to the emergency room. And they ran some tests there. Everything came back normal. So, and at that point, I was just kind of ready to get home. I thought, I don't know why I passed out.
And I've got a lot to do.
I've got a lot to do tomorrow.
Always got to get to soccer practice.
It is already midnight.
I don't have time for this.
And I didn't sleep at all that night because I was afraid to go to sleep. Went and saw a cardiologist, and he kind of thought that this was due to stress and anxiety.
Did he run any tests on you or just talk to you and got your symptoms?
We just talked, and he said that we would probably schedule some tests within the next few weeks.
No sense of urgency.
Right. And I was telling him, listen, I know my body. Something is not right. I don't feel well. So I left that day and immediately called a friend who was able to get me in contact with another cardiologist who scheduled me in right away. Went and saw him, and that day he put a heart monitor on me. He performed an echo. He did not let me leave that hospital until I was protected.
Wrapped in bubble wrap, practically.
Right. So I think I wore that heart monitor less than a week, and I got a phone call from the doctor's office saying, your heart monitor is showing a dangerous arrhythmia and you need to go into the hospital right now.
What did you feel in that moment?
I told him, no, I can't go right now because I'm in the carpool line to get my kids.
Busy.
That's what I told him.
So it's denial.
It was. And he said, you need to go now.
It's so interesting, the internal mental battle you were having, because at first you were like, I'm adamant something is wrong, but I don't want something to be wrong. So it's an internal struggle you're having just to accept the fact that there is something wrong and you were really right.
I think the next day the doctor was able to come and see me, and he said that I was lucky that I woke up that night I passed out on the kitchen floor.
Wow. And did you have to have surgery immediately?
So I was in the hospital for 4 days. And then I remember on that Wednesday, my third day in the hospital, I think the gravity of everything hit me. And my doctor explained to me that he would need to surgically put a defibrillator in my body to protect my heart and to protect me from any of these dangerous arrhythmias that they're seeing my heart going into from time to time. I kept thinking about our boys, and
I know. I know that you don't want to think about what could have happened, but it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
And you're here today, and that's the thing
Right.
we're focusing on. She's here today
Right.
because you didn't just let a doctor pat you on the head and say, go home and take care of your family. You're just stressed. You were like, no, something's wrong.
Right.
And you kept fighting. You got the right answers. And so you got the defibrillator.
I did.
Problem solved, right? Everything's sunshine and roses after that.
Right.
Or not necessarily.
That's what I thought. Now I can just get back to living my normal life. And I didn't want my boys to see any difference.
You don't want them to be scared.
Right. I didn't want them to be scared, and I didn't want them to think Mommy's different now. Mommy can't do what she used to be able to do. So I would rest when they were at school, and when they would come home from school, I tried my hardest to just be the same mom they knew. And that gave me the strength to try to mentally heal along with physically healing too.
Yeah.
And I will say that the mental healing after a diagnosis like this and a surgery like this is so much more difficult than the physical healing.
Did you have any of the medical experts explain that part to you, that in your recovery you're also going to probably experience extreme anxiety, depression, and fears like you hadn't had before? Or did anybody talk through that with you?
No.
You had to figure that out on your own?
I did. And having a device put in your body that is supposed to shock your heart if it goes into a dangerous rhythm is a scary thought in itself, because in my mind I'm thinking, okay, well, what if I'm walking and my heart rate gets too high and this defibrillator decides to shock me?
What's that going to feel like?
What's it going to feel like? What if I'm driving? What if I'm with my kids? All those thoughts were running through my mind, and I was terrified.
Right.
And I was still afraid to go to sleep at night.
So this has been very heavy so far, because some really great things have come out of a very dark moment in your life. You've actually found a lot of positives from this experience.
A few months ago, I thought, okay, I need to take control of this. I need to hear their stories. I need to know that I'm not alone. And I did meet some wonderful heart warriors along the way that have just really inspired me, given me hope, given me courage, given me strength. Before this entire situation, I didn't realize that cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer in women.
Yes.
And I had no idea. And to be so close to being one of those women, I never want to take anything for granted now.
Right. I love that. And I also love the fact that you reached out to other women. We really need to start being a good girlfriend by checking in on each other's health journeys as well.
Right.
And when you know your girlfriend's not acting right, something seems a little off, ask her about it, because she might not be as aware as you were, Sheena,
Right.
to recognize something's not right. It might be your girlfriends that recognize Sheena's not acting right.
Right.
Sheena's seeming a little forgetful lately. She's not her usual energetic self. Sheena, you need to go see the doctor. You could be the difference in saving one of your girlfriend's lives. Sheena, thank you so much for sharing your story today. I'm so happy that you're here with us. And thank you all for joining us today. This was a conversation I'm sure has made a difference and possibly saved a few lives today. Remember, women, we've got to look out for our girlfriends. And thank you again to the American Heart Association and to Texas Health for having Sheena and me here today for this conversation.